All right, we're back again, this time with another one of your agentic workforce members. So we've already talked about your main agentic named Bishop, the little blob. And then, of course, you got to see the predictor, which is some really cool stuff if you stop and think about that many simulations, Monte Carlo simulations being run in about a minute. It's just sort of crazy, really. So anyways, we're going back to your analyze it. We're on our main screen here. We'll go back to analyze it, and we're going to go to the trender. I love the trender. I just, I'm behind the scenes, right? So like, even though you can't interact with the trender, he's going to just do, his job, right? That's part of what an agentic does. A true agency will have some members that are pretty autonomous. They just sort of go do what they need to do, and they make a certain amount of decisions on that data on their own. And the trenders like that. But I got that like special access, so I get a chance to talk to the trender and interact with him. Really strange persona. At one point, even let him learn a little bit about the greatest guitar solos of all time. Believe it or not, the Trender and I had sort of a special relationship there. So if there could be a time in the future where we let the Trender be interactive, and you can question, not only work with him but question him. So you might check with him on what he thinks of Hendrix versus, for instance, Stevie Ray Vaughan. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start. We'll just stick with ServiceNow since that's what we've been doing in the training classes. So you can pick any application you want. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. Pick ServiceNow. Okay. So if you look at the left, you can see that what the trender does is he is basically a pattern analyzer, a trend analysis. And basically, he is going to look at your 50-day Kaufman moving average. So it's really an exponential moving average or Kaufman adaptive, whichever you want to use. We tend to use the Kaufman, and the main reason is because Kaufman was designed for like stock markets, bond markets, and it what it does is it minimizes no noise as opposed to something that's truly impactful. And if you remember, we're really focused on long-term reliability, so that smoothing aspect is important to RPI. And so the trender is taught on how to use Kaufman's because that's just the one that seems to make most sense for him. But you can see that this is a line comparison. So, there you go. So he's really fast today. Must be in a good mood. It is Friday, by the way. You can see that he says he's done his Six Sigma analysis. Now, again, as you know, these guys are all trained in full Six Sigma as if they were black belt. So he's going to, even if this isn't something you necessarily need, he is going to return to you all the metrics associated with Six Sigma, like upper control limits, lower center line, capability indexes, Sigma levels. All that's going to come back, right? And then he's going to do control chart analysis for what he sees about this particular service now. He's going to give you all this kind of stuff. Then he's going to talk about why he uses Kaufman's technical analysis or adaptive moving analysis. He's also going to tell you when he saw in ServiceNow anything that was sort of a blip right on the screen. And he sees that there were 4 significant drops in their RPI score, and then he shows what the root cause was for each. 3 were latency, 1 was path loss, and he gives you the dates when those happened. But that's convenient, right? So you can sort of use that to go backwards and think about what's been happening over the past few days. You get a trend analysis, which you're going to just see a chart here. This is the fancy wording, right? So this is how you look at volatility and the trend and the significance, the dates that could have really been a special variation or whatever. Give you an executive summary for your knock. And then finally, he'll give you the DMAIC thing that I talked about, which is really just this define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So he's going to give you some advice on that. But the thing that really you want to look at is when you get to the bottom after you've digested all of the Six Sigma stuff, is just take a look over the past 50 days. Now, in this case, it won't be 50 days because we're looking at um, you know, a situation where this company has loaded this data only in the past 11 days. So this won't be applicable for 50 days, but he is looking at everything he can for that period of time. And you can see that he says that here's your daily average RPI. You're really hovering right there on your 50-day, and then now you've got an upswing here. Over the longer trend, you would be able to show and prove to management that you have a 50-day moving average, which you can consider to be your long-term reliability trend for that application, ServiceNow. But if your daily RPI is above that line, that's a great thing. And over a period of time, if your daily RPI continues to stay above the line, you'll begin to pull this 50-day moving average up towards you. And so you'll be able to have a conversation with leadership or your CIO or CEO about how you're truly making a difference, not just every day, but to your long-term reliability. It's really powerful stuff especially if you're really in the business of improving an entire IT operation. It's this powerful data that you can get on any of your applications. So the trender, great agentic, great guy, really knows his guitar. I compare him to like our good buddy Tim Higgins. He really knows guitar. So hope you enjoyed the trender. I'll see you in the next video.